Hey, welcome back to Evil's Comics. I'm Evil Mike, or Mike if you prefer, and this is going to be my review on Void Rivals, issue number 3. It's from Image Comics and SkyBound Entertainment. It is written by Robert Kirkman, art by Lorenzo De Felici, colors by Matheus Lopez, and letters by Rus Wooton. The cover is also done by Lorenzo De Felici. Before we get started, please like, comment, subscribe on this guy's channel. It does help. Hit the bell if you want to be notified when I drop videos. So let's get started. It takes place right where we left off. We were meeting with Skuxoid, and I think that's how you pronounce his name. They've been picked up on this like asteroid junk ship, and that's basically that they're fighting Skuxoid right here. They're pretty much overwhelming Skuxoid, and I wouldn't say like it's more so Lily, I think is how you say her name. We find out she has a weapon that, like, she didn't just have a gun, she has some kind of blade that she can throw and it comes back to her. Derek, he notices this and kind of questions it not really like a pilot's weapon. She kind of does dismiss this, and they end up taking off. Skullux, there is like kind of one funny point when I think it's over here somewhere where he tries saying, "Hey man, I'm just doing a job, I got wife and kids, But they do end up taking off. He kind of has this like sinister gesture, like, haha, I'm like the least dangerous thing on this ship kind of thing, and lets them roam this massive ship, and they quickly find out that it's pretty big. They use Handoid to try and track down some food, but before they get too far, going, they end up running into their first type of trap. They kind of don't even notice it with the robot eyes back here. They just see it as lights or whatever. But they do notice that the room's a trap kind of thing. But before they can even enter the trap kind of comes to them, and we see this like robotic scorpion. They quickly end up fighting it, and it's kind of the same thing. Derek's not as good a fighter as so Lily is. This is like the second time it's been like showcased, But anyways, they end up like pushing this scorpion thing back inside the door, both having to cooperate, and Derek has to get to the door, and she's got to like push it back using electricity from the staff thing that she's got. Eventually they travel some more. They find out they're being monitored by this Skuxoid guy, so they know that he's going to send more traps. They end up getting asked, I don't know how to put it, there's a prisoner that's like, hey, if you release me, I'll show you where to go. As soon as they release him, they kind of think it's another trap, but it's not. But it could be, but it ends up being a Quintesson. Most Transformer fans are familiar with this race, especially if you've seen the movie. But for the most part, this guy generally wants to escape. He kind of says that their motives align kind of thing. And they kind of tag team together looking for his ship. He says he knows the run of the ship. They ask why. It's because he says he wasn't a prisoner originally. They do get to his ship, and as soon as they get there, Skuxoid is waiting, and he's like, alright, enough with the games, go ahead and turn this guy back in because he's not that friendly. He's going to betray you as soon as, y'all are alone. But we learn right here that this guy's basically a bounty hunter, and he's checked all the known registers on both of these guys, and there's no known bounties, so he has no reason to keep them. Also, he had like kind of mentioned this, that he went to go investigate their ship, and it turns out that there was some kind of like extremely rare alloy that was on the ship, so he actually asked if they'd like to trade for that old ship, and he'll give them a working ship, not the greatest of ships, but something that can get them back to their prospective planets or whatever. So we do get to see the ship, and they end up taking off. We get to a point where I was kind of wondering how they were going to do this. Both are supposed to be enemies. It's supposed to be part of their mission that if they see each other, they're supposed to kill each other upon death. So that's kind of where we get this part in the story, where so Lily asks, Derek, what are they going to do kind of thing, and Derek kind of has an explanation that they're going to, as soon as they get close to the ring, they're going to split up in escape pods, alert each other's planets, and then they're going to go to their prospective fathers and then try to explain that you know, they don't need to be at war kind of thing, and hopefully it goes somewhere from there. Um, and that's kind of where we, you know, as we're getting to the ring, that's the plan that they're sticking to. We see a lot of doubts as far as like from So Lily, and it's more like, you know, Derek is the more like positive. He thinks it's going to work type of thing, even though his father kind of hates him type of thing. I don't know, but he believes he has the enough willpower to get it done type of thing. We go back into a little more doubts, and you know, so Lily's the one that's like, you know, if it wasn't for you back when we were stranded, and I would have killed you, and I would have been stranded there until I died. So, you know, it's really all thanks to you that we were able to get to back to the ring. And but at the very end, she like apologizes to him, and it's one of those moments like, and he's like, for what? And all of a sudden, you know, she stabs the ground with the lightning sword and ends up knocking him out on the ground. And that's the last part of this issue. There's the first letters page from Robert Kirkman with fans asking, you know, different stuff about the new Energon universe or whatever. There's not a lot of information in there, but there is some. It's still good reads, the letters and the answers from Robert Kirkman. In the very back of this issue, there is a couple-page preview from Daniel Warren Johnson's Transformers that directly ties into this book that's coming. One of the cool things is there was an ash can that featured a lot of this art, but it didn't have like dialogue bubbles. This does. And one cool thing is he looked like it on the cover, but we do find out that this is Spike from the G1 cartoons. There is another female character that I'm not familiar with that's with him. We get some amazing art. It looks like they're back at the beginning of where, you know, where the Transformers had crash landed on Earth. They've been stuck here for like 1,000,000 years, and this is when Spike finds them and activates them kind of thing. But that's pretty much all we get from the preview, besides like, hey, look at the cover and this is coming. We do get an image from the 4th issue of Void Rivals, which looks very interesting. It looks like so Lily's father, which we didn't get a lot of backstory on her side of the story. We got more of Derek's backstory and his place, you know, with his race kind of thing. But that is my review on Void Rivals issue number 3. It was a fantastic read. I'm loving this. The art, the story, the lettering, the pacing, everything, the colors. The introduction of some of the, you know, minor Transformer characters is really dope. That they didn't go hardcore with the, you know, known Autobots or Decepticons. I kind of like that we're getting like the Quintessence and the Skuxoid character. It's enough to know that Transformers is there kind of thing. But that's my review, and these are my thoughts on the book. I'm loving it. Let me know down below what you thought. You know, are you still digging it? What are your thoughts in the future? What do you think is coming for our 2 main characters? You know, how is that going to all tie into this G.I. Joe Transformer universe kind of thing? That's all I got for you.